In this video, we're going to talk about lighting inside SketchUp and how to create a little bit of environmental effect like the fog that you can see here, and also how to bring in other images, for example, a logo here, or also other images that can help you again to create environment like trees and people and other stuff in PNG. We're also gonna explain what PNG is for the ones who don't know, and also how you can bring in other images like this and create like a background or foreground images and so on. So it's going to be a lesson where we're going to try to get as realistic as we can get here in SketchUp, but we already said that SketchUp has its own limit. So if you want to do something more realistic, you need to go with the extensions, and you can find some extensions here about materials, advanced materials, or lighting, or rendering. Just type here whatever you're looking for, and there are a lot of them, and a lot of them also are free, so you can check them. And also you can look for something better for the UE map if you want to create some mapping, some more advanced mapping. And also you can use the extension managers to see what you have installed and what not. And we're also going to talk about V-Ray for SketchUp, which has basically anything, and it's probably the most diffuse render engine for SketchUp and also other software. And you can find there materials, lighting, mapping, and a lot of realistic effects. Also the fog that we have already here in SketchUp. And also you can go to the 3D warehouse, download trees and other objects here to scatter around your terrain or your scene. The more you place uh, different objects and different elements inside the scene, the more you're gonna cover this repetition here, which is not really great. And it's really common in SketchUp to have this, because this is a result of something non-realistic. So we can see here we got as far as we could go in the realism, and I will show you how to set everything as you see in this scene, and the rest we're gonna explore it later on with the V-Ray for SketchUp in another video course. So let's start with something simple. So let's bring in some images, and I will delete these two because I want to show you how to do that. And it's really simple basically. So when we use materials, we open the image directly into the material panel, and we say, okay, that's a texture and I want to apply that to my material. But in this video, we're going to do another way. So you can go to File, Import, and you can select a file from any folder. And in this case, I have some logos here that I want to use. So you can use your own logo as well. And well, actually, this is really useful when you're working with logos and graphics. Okay, so I want to bring in a logo here and say import. So you can say down here, you have image, texture, and matched photo. So you don't want to bring in a texture right now because we are not working with materials anymore. We are proceeding on with other topics. So this is going to be a simple image. And when you're going to say import, it's going to show you your logo. And well, of course, the bigger is the logo size in terms of pixels, and the better it is than when you bring it in. But you can see here it's moving a little bit slower. So the more texture you're going to bring in, the more materials you will create with textures, the more images, the more it's going to be heavy for you to get around here. Now, the interesting thing is that it's placing according to the surfaces. So if I move into a surface, it's gonna recognize the orientation and the rotation, and it's gonna place that graphic exactly on that surface. So once you click, you're gonna place the insertion point there, and then you can move the mouse to scale it up and scale it down. So I will scale it accordingly here, maybe something like this, and then click again. And that's it. Now the image is placed, the logo is placed, and well, I can still move it around because this is gonna be like another entity in Sketchup. So if I go here in the entity info, it's gonna show me that this is a simple image. It's untagged. I didn't apply this to any layer. I can definitely apply this to layers so that I can turn this on and off. I can also turn it off from here with the toggles. So if I hide something in the toggles, then I need to go to view and reveal the hidden geometry or hidden objects. And then I can select that. And when it's selected, I can bring that to hide and reveal it. And then maybe go back here and deactivate the hidden geometry and hidden objects. Okay, and then you can change the size also from here. If you want to set something precise, you can see it's maintaining the proportions. But if you want to change that, you can click on this little icon here and of the chain. And so I can change now the proportions. But again, this is usually something that is not good. It's wrong because it's going to give you a stretched looking to the image, as we saw also in the textures. Okay, now I'm using here a PNG image. So this means that it doesn't have the background and it show me the what's behind. I can also stack more layers here, one on top of the other, and create really advanced effects. But this is what because I have the alpha channel. The alpha channel, it's the fourth channel of PNG images. So if you use a normal JPEG, they don't have alpha channel. So if I go file and let's search for something on the web. So I'm gonna look for like some landscape image, and I can find this one here in Wikimedia. So this is the free license CC0, so it's public domain and I can use it. So I can visit the website and find all the information here, the description and the author. And well, if you're interested, just right click here, save image, and I will save it into the texture folder. Okay, and well, I can click here and drag it and drop it directly from the folder or from the browser. And that's going to be my image there. You can see it's an image. It automatically detected it's an image. And I can use this like in movies or TV series. So I can bring this, for example, in the background there. And I can use it as a background. This is one way. You can see this is not a PNG, it's a JPEG. It doesn't have the transparent background because JPEG have only 3 channels, which are RGB